You know that TikTok sound that's like, hey, how y'all doing? That is how I feel right now. It's been a while. It's been a minute. It's been 2 whole years. Where do I start? Well, I can't do the old intro anymore, so we're gonna have to work on a new version of that. We're gonna hit it for old time's sake. Hi, my name is Camille. If you're new here, I'm a foreigner, expat, immigrant living in Seoul, South Korea, and I like to talk about it on the internet. If you happen to follow any of my other channels, then you know, and maybe even this one too, because I have been posting, randomly popping up and posting on the community board. But I left Korea 2 years ago. I moved back to Toronto, and apparently fell off the face of the earth. There's several reasons why I stopped sharing so much on the internet. The 2 biggest ones are like just this feeling that like nobody cares what I'm doing in Toronto. I think the other piece is that it like took me a while to find my footing again, which I think is something that people don't really talk about. Like people talk so much about how difficult it is to move somewhere new, build a life abroad in Korea. And when I say some people, literally me, I've talked about that, but I didn't talk about, or maybe at least not yet, haven't talked about how hard it is to come back. Like you leave and life moves on, and you don't just get to step back into your old life 4 years later. Like no one is holding their breath waiting for you to come back. Trying to reinsert yourself is also hard, which interestingly enough is I think a big reason why a lot of people boomerang to Korea. Like I don't know if I ever talked about that as a part of my videos, but like there are tons of people who will come to Korea for a year or 2, they'll go home, and then they will move back. I did a lot of maturing when I was in Korea, which was a primary factor in me deciding to come home. I did a big reflection, so like I don't think that I'm gonna boomerang. I know I won't boomerang. And so I have spent 2 years kind of getting back on my feet. It probably took me a year and a half to like get comfortable again. And then for a variety of factors, like I said, I don't think anyone would find Toronto interesting. My job is particularly demanding. I am in a relationship. Like all of these things take away. They don't take away. That sounds bad. All of these things impact my ability to be as available to my internet friends as I have been before. Like I really miss it. I really love it. I really do. And even if it is only in little bits, like I really want to start showing up again. And so I have to figure out with you guys what that looks like and what you want me to talk about and where this kind of goes. I know I've posted that in like the community page or whatever it's called a few times, and you guys are so sweet. You're just like, oh, like anything, like just like hanging out with you, you know, whatever interests you, like take us along. I don't do a lot. I really don't do a lot. I go to work, I come home, I get coffees, so I've got to figure out something interesting to show you guys, which I will, but it just might take me a minute and a couple trial and error videos. Do I do a life update now? Is that what you guys want? Okay. What can I tell you about? I've had 2 jobs. I was at one big multinational ad agency working in like business development, which was fun. I did that for a year. That brought me back to Toronto. Oh yeah, no, rewind. Okay, so when I first moved back from Korea, I moved to Montreal and I lived with my parents. There's no shame in that. Every time I move home from living abroad, I move in with my parents regardless of how old I am. I was 30. Anyways, I was 29. But I lived with my parents for 6 months. I couldn't get a job in Montreal because I can't speak French. And so then I was applying to jobs in Toronto and I got a job in Toronto. And I came here and I did that and I worked at that big ad agency, which was really fun. I met so many incredible people. And then now I've switched jobs and I work at a small boutique ad agency. I'm back in account service, or like client service, which means I work with all of our clients to help their vision come to. I don't know how to really explain what I do it's so hard to explain. It's the same thing I kind of did at Weber. Oh, did I ever say where I worked? When I lived in Korea and I talked about working at a PR agency, I worked at Weber Shandwick. I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but that's where I was. I mean, so many of you find me on LinkedIn, you know this about me. But at the end of my employment at Weber Shandwick, I was also in client service, which basically means like you are like the bridge between the agency and the client. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I'm also, I co-head that department, which is really great because I was kind of worried, and actually did prove to be a struggle when I came back. People didn't really care about my 4 years of experience in Korea. Like, I get them brushing off the English teaching and being like, okay, that's irrelevant. Although you would be surprised at how many transferable skills there are between kindergarten teacher and advertising professional. But anyways, I digress. People just kind of brush that off. And then even like, but they also just discounted like the years that I was still working in the agency, whether that was at a multinational PR firm or at a global beauty brand. Like, they were like, yeah, that doesn't really count. So when I was interviewing for jobs, they had like bumped me down to the position I was when I had left, which was account supervisor. And I was like, we're not doing that. So I am an account director, which is aligned with what I was doing in Korea, which is good, but it took me a minute to kind of get back up there. So yeah, so now I'm continuing to work in advertising, and that's great. I don't really have anything else to say about that. It's the exact same thing I did before I left. I guess in the other realms of my life, I live with my best friend. That's great. It's funny because I haven't talked to these people and I'm like, how much do you want to be featured in my stuff, if at all? Like, we haven't had that conversation yet, but I live with a roommate. She's my best friend. We know each other from university. And then I also have a boyfriend who I'm pretty sure wants nothing to do with this. So I'll leave him out of the equation. And then I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, I don't know. I work out now. That's crazy. I also still love Formula One. I know I started talking about that when I was leaving Korea, but I don't know. That's basically me in a nutshell. I don't know if any of those things interest you, friends, but those are things about me. I guess that's the life update. More to come. Brand new cast of characters. Same bitch, new season. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, say hi, give you guys the download, and then now I'm gonna log off and figure out what my next video is gonna be about. So if you have any ideas, please drop them in the comments below. If you want me to keep talking about Korea as a part of the mix of content that I do, I can, but I don't know that I'm your best source of information. So bear with me while we figure out what else I have to talk about.